So TikTok is totally fried now, I guess. This is Trump's America. TikTok is completely jacked up. It's glitchy, doesn't even begin to describe it. So Oracle and TikTok, that deal went through in order for Donald Trump to protect us from Chinese influence. This is supposed to be for our own good, to protect us from having our data exploited by China. Bitch, Elon Musk and his band of Shitler youth at Doge, they already stole all of our data and uploaded it to God knows where. And now Trump's buddy Larry Ellison, according to the new terms of service for TikTok, can just, basically harvest any and all information about us, and also can use any of the videos that we film to train his AI for their promotions, whatever. But it's just like so many things that authoritarians do. We have to take away some of your rights. We have to inshitify this country in so many different ways, all for your safety. All for your protection. We have to spend tens of billions of your taxpayer dollars so that ICE can become one of the largest militaries in the world that we will then wield against the American people. But it's for your safety. Comply or die, it's for your safety. Pam Bondi is going to go shake down Minnesota for their voter rolls, but that's for our safety. Fewer rights, more invasion of your privacy by the federal government, all in the name of keeping you safe. With ICE, it's to keep us safe from immigrants and gang members. With the enshittification of TikTok, it's to keep us safe from Chinese exploitation of our data. Let's not forget that every accusation is a confession. So who's exploiting our data now? Who's committing violence against us now? It's not immigrants. Who's stealing our data? It's not China. Not nearly as much as Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Authoritarians, fascists, especially in a kleptocracy like this one, a thievocracy, they make everything worse for all of us. Less functional, less safe, less prosperous, and nothing works right. Everything is janky and half-assed and falling apart because not only is it a kleptocracy, it's also a kakistocracy. So, the idiots are running the show here. The incompetent boobs are in charge of everything. TikTok just got light years worse in the last day and a half. Yesterday, myself and I'm in a couple of different chats with various TikTok creators in different parts of the country, and none of us could upload any videos yesterday. They would get stuck under review. They would show 0 views. We couldn't reshare other people's videos. We couldn't comment. You go into your TikTok studio and nothing's in there. None of your earnings information is in there. It's just errors when you try to do things. Some folks would tell me they would try and watch my older videos and they would look really weird. Right? For example, this person said that they tried to watch my video and this is what happened. I do think it's interesting. The only kind of creator on my political end of the spectrum that I saw able to get any videos out yesterday at all was Aaron Parnas. No, nobody else. Nobody. And then today I saw that I was getting comments on one of my videos that looked like it had 0 views to me, and I would click on it and I could tell there were comments, but I couldn't read them. And then eventually I could read some of them, but I still couldn't post new videos. Nothing was going public. Nothing was going through except for this one video. And it had 32 views or something, some tiny amount of views. So I tried again. Okay, I'm going to upload a video about a general strike. I thought that's a good topic. It's an important thing. People have been discussing organizing for a general strike in the wake of the very successful strike that happened on January 23rd in Minnesota. Published that puppy. Within 10 minutes, boom, community guidelines violation. It actually went public. I think a couple dozen people saw it immediately. Immediately, I got a strike on my account and community guidelines violation for nothing. It doesn't say what. So it seems like that's going to be the new modus operandi around here. I tried to go in and look at my analytics because I needed to get some of that information because, work. And I got a 404 error. I tried to access the appeals section under TikTok so I could appeal the community guidelines violation against me. I got an error there. Nothing will load right. Nothing will work. Sometimes today I can repost somebody's video. Sometimes I can comment. It's a disaster. This is how things work in a kakistocracy. This is how things also work in a kleptocracy because they're not interested in providing any kind of functionality, either of the government or, corporations' platforms for you. It's not about serving your needs. It's not about providing you the quality of life or the user experience that you deserve. No, it's just how can they fleece all of us for as much as they possibly can? How can they exploit us on this platform? And then likewise, how can the government exploit all of our tax dollars and our labor? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. For me, what is happening with TikTok is just like a little microcosm of the enshittification of America by Donald Trump and his cronies. By the way, I also heard that my friend Hawk has had both of his accounts just out of nowhere deleted, canceled. I went to go find a video of his from a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh, my dude, did you take your video down? And then I couldn't find his account at all. Crickets, nothing. And then I saw that they're just poof, you know. Oh, good time to follow people on other platforms. I'm on a lot of other platforms. Pretty sure I now cannot mention them without getting in trouble on TikTok. I know that a lot of people on Blue Sky yesterday, when I was describing what a disaster zone it was on TikTok while I was trying to post and everything was failing, said, well, why don't you just use a different platform? Why don't you use Skylight? Skylight, first of all, it doesn't have, it feels very rudimentary. For lack of a better word, you can only post videos up to 3 minutes long. The editing is very clunky, and I know folks have said there are other platforms. And for everybody that was on TikTok, originally it was for the sweet, sweet algorithm, right? When I first joined TikTok a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, actually, it was this like really curated experience, and it felt like a community. I was learning from people. You would have back and forth conversations over videos. It felt like a really useful platform. Felt like it was serving a purpose. And then I watched it slowly go downhill in the run up to the election, and then definitely after the incident with Mario's brother, and then after the platform went dark for a day and came back up, like it just went downhill and downhill and downhill. The beautiful algorithm doesn't function the same way. It doesn't give you the same user experience at all. And it just, to me, is like, I've watched this steady decline of TikTok, steady decline of my enjoyment of the platform. I've watched my income go from about $4,000 a month to about $60 a month as this platform just finds every reason it possibly can to not pay you for your work. And I'm like, this is just a perfect encapsulation of the kind of country that Donald Trump is turning America into, and the kind of future that he wants for all of us. Worse and worse, degraded, less than, declining. America is in decline because of Donald Trump and the Republicans. And it is worth mentioning that all of this madness could be stopped at any point in time if the Republicans did their job. Republicans in Congress could stop this whenever they want. They are choosing not to. And no hate to my friend Tad, but I think that is worth mentioning. I think it is worth reminding everybody who has the responsibility here. Not that Democrats don't have a responsibility to obstruct, not that the Democrats have not been woefully inadequate on so many levels at constituting a functional opposition party, but the Republicans, the ones with the majority, they could have stopped this whenever. And they still can. They still can. It just takes a handful of them to completely shut this down. Donald Trump could have been impeached 25 times over. The 25th Amendment could have been invoked. All of this could have been ground to halt, even just like on smaller levels when it comes to appropriations, when it comes to funding ICE, when it comes to funding foreign wars, whatever, when it comes to dismantling various departments in the government that Donald Trump didn't have the authority, like Congress, the most powerful branch of government, could have stepped in at any time. So sorry to get off on that tangent, but I just, man, I'm always looking for those connections. In permaculture, we say design from patterns to details. You look at the tiny details, and then you step back and you look at the big picture. You look at the big overarching picture, and you step in and you look at the details. You're seeing how everything is connected, how systems tend to function in ways that are overlapping, that are synonymous in so many ways. That's to me like, yep, okay. Entirely different scale, entirely same problem, entirely same people driving that problem. I think actually I probably won't post this on TikTok because I'm sure it will get this account taken down for criticizing dear leader, but I will post it over on YouTube. I don't know how much longer I will stay on TikTok, if at all, because it's a shit show over here. It's a disaster. And I expect we're going to see more and more creators who don't toe the MAGA party line getting suppressed tremendously and just getting their accounts banned. I imagine we're going to see some of those creators who just say kind of the right, middle of the road, democratic thing, whatever, maybe run by some organizations that might be kind of greasing the palms of this platform, right? You don't know who is incentivizing Oracle now to push certain content. So I imagine there will still be token creators that subsist well and get tons of views on TikTok. But I don't actually foresee a future where they allow anybody who's actually driving change to stay on TikTok. And I would love to see a platform that's competitive. If the algorithm doesn't exist here anymore, but other platforms only allow like 1-minute videos or 3-minute videos, and they're really clunky and operate very poorly. How can we create something better? How can we create a platform that has like a user creator owned collective where we have an equitable creator fund, and then the people on it can actually use the space as a community and get something worthy out of it, worthwhile out of it? Because it's not happening. not happening on TikTok.